which is the DN9652. So on the DN9650, this port is fixed to AES50. On the 9652, you can choose any port that you want, any kind of card that you want to put it there. So you can convert Dante to USB or MADI to Dante, AES50 Dante using this 9652. Again, very flexible device and greatly expands the connections of our devices. Right? I believe you are familiar with this device, the DN9610. It extends, since the limit of a Cat5 is 100 meters. With this device, you can extend to another 100 meters, go into your stage rack or to another device. The next one that we have is the DN9620, which is what we have on the side there. It converts an AES50 Cat5 to an AES50 fiber optic. So it combines two Cat5 cables of AES50 into fiber optic and to extend the signal, the Cat5 signal. And then at the other end, you convert it back to Cat5 so that you can connect to your stage rack. So that's one solution if you want to extend your cabling. Or, so that's two ports combined into one cable. You also have the DN9680, which combines 8 ports and combines it into one fiber optic cable. By default, the fiber optic is single mode. That means it can go up to 1.5 kilometers. You can replace the fiber optic port inside to multi-mode, which is less expensive, and that can go up to 500 meters. So basically, what it does is combines up to 8 ports of Cat5 cables into one fiber optic, up to 1.5 kilometers, and then at the other end, you convert that back into a Cat5 cable. Okay. A latest addition to our DN9 to our Clarity device, which was released very recently, is the DN9630. I believe this was just released last month. This is a small version of the DN9650. Converts an AES50 signal to a USB. Okay, so this can operate at either 96 kilohertz or 48 kilohertz. It's not a synchronous word clock, so if you're recording on a Midas Pro Series, your recording would be 96 kilohertz. Okay, so less expensive option for the DN9650. I would like to just give you an idea of how you would use the Pro Series on a setup so you can easier explain to your clients. So what I have here is a case scenario of live full band show with a monitor mix. And then all signals should be digitally connected. Alright? And the system should have a multi-track recording. Okay? So how are we going to do that with the Pro Series? So what we have here is a diagram using two consoles, Pro 2 and for the monitor mix and a Pro 2 for the front of house mix. So let's just zoom in on that. So what you do here, for the front of house, you make two connections. This will be going to your stage rack, which is the DL231. Going up to your stage rack, so DL231, and then from the 231, you have another console connected, which is the Pro 2, another Pro 2, doing a monitor mix. Again, no gain sharing, independent gain control. And then the second AES50 connection, you go to the DN9650. From the 9650, you convert AES50 to Dante. So you fit it with a Dante card. From the Dante card, you connect to the network switch. So you connect to your Dante network. From the Dante network, you can go to the lab loop and amplifier, which we will talk about later. The lab loop then has Dante inputs. It can also transmit Dante. So that's also good for installation projects if the facility is using a Dante connection. The lab loop can do 48 kilohertz or 96 kilohertz of Dante. And then from the same Dante connection, the same Dante network, we can do a multi-track recording going to our laptop. Okay, so that is the big picture. Again, all of those, the only analog connection that you make is from the speaker to the amplifier, and then from the stage to your inputs, from the stage rack to your inputs. Alright? Everything clear so far? Cool. Just want to talk briefly about the Pro 369, which is now discontinued. I believe we have 2 units of Pro 9 in Malaysia. So, the Pro 3, 6, and 9 basically are the same hardware, the same DSP engines, and the same control surface. Each of them can be upgraded to the Pro 3 can be upgraded to a Pro 6, and the Pro 6 can be upgraded to a Pro 9. All you have to do is get a new license from CARE or from your distributor, and then add another DSP on one of the slots. So the DSP can have a redundant DSP card. You have an option to have a redundant DSP card. But very important here to remember that the latest firmware that is available for the Pro 3, 6, and 9 is a 2.6.1. Our latest firmware now is a 3.4.3 because this has been released last 2008. The support for the software, in terms of software, is discontinued only for the software. So you're not going to get new firmware for this one. The latest is at 2.6.1. All these consoles, the 3, 6, and 9, can also be updated to our latest console, which is the Pro X. With the Pro X, you can update up to generation 3.4.3 firmware, and you also get 168 inputs and 99 outputs. All of this comes with a new TSP box called the Neutron. So some of the features, the 168 inputs is actually made up of 144 input channels and 24 auxiliary returns. The 99 outputs is from the 24 matrix outputs and 72 auxiliary returns. And then, so that's 96 plus left, center, and right bus. That makes it 99 outputs. If you like using plugins when you're mixing, you can have up to 24 effect tracks internally. And if you like using the track technique graphic equalizer built within the Midas Pro series, you can have up to 36. So with the Pro X, you can have a redundant engine, master control unit, or engine that's running the software. Something that you do not get with the Pro 2 and the M32. So only on the Pro X. So if ever the first engine would fail or would hang during a show, you can seamlessly transfer to another engine without losing audio and continue to mix. Alright, so again, the Pro X comes with a new DSP called the Neutron. Some features of redundancy include the automatic snake redundancy. That is your connection from the control center going to the DSP engine. So if any of those cables would fail, it would automatically swap to the other. Even if you unplug both of them intentionally, you won't lose audio. You'll continue to have audio on your system. You have automatic redundant DSP card. You have 4 cards. The 4th one is redundant. If any of those would fail, automatically the other one would catch, the spare would catch the other one. And even if you intentionally pull out one DSP, it's gonna transfer to another DSP that's not working. And then it's also hot swappable. So during a show, something goes wrong with one of your DSPs, you can replace one out and then put back a new one. You also have up to 21 AES-50 ports on the Neutron. AES-50 is how we connect to our devices. So one AES-50 port is 24 channels of inputs and outputs. So doing the math, somewhere around 400, 500 input and output. Okay, and then we have a direct connection to an M32, a USB interface, a Dante, or a MATI. How do we do that? That is possible if you get the Neutron bridge, which is an expander for the Neutron DSP. So with the Neutron bridge, you have 2 card slots here. And the card slots that you use, the cards that you use is the same as the DA9650. So basically with the Pro X, you get 2 sets of DA9650 built in. So you can convert, you can send directly to a MADI, to a Dante, another AES50 if you want to use to M32, and a USB. Again, just like the DA9650, this can be at 48 kHz, while the Pro X is running at 96 kHz. So, same case study, alright, live band with monitor mix, but this time in 2 stages. So stage A should be able to send audio to stage B and vice versa, and then again digitally connected, and both stages with multi-track recording. So how do we do that using the Pro X? So we got our main stage here on the right side, and our satellite stage here on the left side using M32 system. So beginning with the Pro X, front of house, we use an AES50 connection to the DSP. So this time, in this scenario, the DSP is located at the stage. So we have one AES50 connection going to the DSP, which is here on the stage. And then from the DSP, you have your connection to the 231 stage rack. From the 231 stage rack, you connect to your monitor console. And then again, because you have, you can fit 2 cards of network cards. Could be the first one could be AES50, and then the other one can be Dante for your Dante network, which is going to Dante network going to a tab equipment amplifier, the same thing that we did on the Pro 2 system. And then from the same Dante network, we can do the multi-track recording. How then are we going to send to the other stage? Using the AES50 card running at 48 kHz, we can send straight to an M32. If we need more than 100 meters of cable, we can extend using the DN9610, and then straight going to the M32 console. From the M32 console, we can have multi-track recording happening, and then from the console at front of house, we send straight to the Midas DL32, and then from the DL32, we go to a monitor mix console, again another M32, and then how do we send to the speakers? Using Ultranet, we can send via Cat5 cable to our Berlin system. Later we're going to touch on the M32 and the Ultranet and the power speakers that we have in Turbo Sound. Okay, so any questions on the Pro X, Pro Series? We're now going to move on to the M32. If you have any questions, just feel free to let me know. Everything clear on that? Yep. M32 series. So we have 3 models, M32, M32R, and M32C. They are basically all the same console. The only difference is that they are the same at 40 inputs, same capability, same software. Difference is that it's the local inputs that you get with each of the console. So with the M32, you get 32 inputs, 16 outputs. With the M32R, just like the X32 producer, you get 16 inputs and 8 local outputs. With the M32C, which stands for compact, you get no inputs and no outputs, so you have to use a stage rack. And then an iPad or a computer to control the mixing console. So, even though this is the most affordable line in our mixing console series, it uses the same preamplifiers as our Pro X, as our Pro 2. So same preamplifiers, same quality of preamplifiers, exactly the same actually as the XL8. And then it also comes with the same Pro Series faders, so 1 million cycle without calibration. And it comes fitted with Ultranet, so you can connect via Cat5 to your speakers. And it also comes with a USB multitrack for multitrack recording. So since ABEM is also the distributor for Behringer and Midas, I would just like to point out some of the difference. Of course, to make the Behringer more affordable, we have to make some adjustments and changes. So basically, since the Midas is using is more expensive, that usually comes with the price of using the Pro Series preamps on the M32. The designer for the hardware is an Indian Bentley designer who did the design for the M32. Again, you have the same Pro Series million cycle faders. And then one big difference is at the back of the console you have TRS inputs, 6 inputs for auxiliaries and 6 outputs for the 6 auxiliary outputs, TRS as well. On the M32, those inputs and outputs are TRS, those are balanced, those are good as XLRs. On the Behringer, those are unbalanced. This again to save cost. The AES-50 ports, we talked about this morning, are isolated just like on the Pro Series. On the Behringer, there's no isolation transformer on the AES-50 ports. That's why you get more popping sound when you unplug the AES-50. And if there's a ground shock or loop back, it goes straight into the boards of the Behringer. But the software is exactly the same. I mean, the software for the Behringer X32 is actually very stable, so there's no need to change it, there's no need to revise it. Everything else in terms of hardware has been redesigned inside the M32. So at the back, you have your, oh sorry, okay, never mind, I think. Yeah, you have your 32 inputs, and these are the 6 auxiliary inputs and outputs. These are TRS, and then these are your AES-50 ports going to your stage rack or to another M32 device. You have your Ultranet connection, and then of course your USB. So just like the X32, you also have different cards available. You can swap it out with a Dante card, a MADI card, or an ADAT for studio recording purposes. And very new this year, we have the X Live from Behringer, which is also compatible with the M series on the Midas. You can have up to 2 SD cards. So once the first card is full, it will transfer automatically into the second card. If you have 512 gigs of SD card, you can record the show of 32 channels for up to 24 hours. So 2 cards of 512 gig of SD card is equivalent to 2 days of multi-track recording. So that is all compatible with the new firmware that we have on the Midas M32 and the X32 firmware. Okay. Questions about the cards in the M32? You guys are familiar with the M32, X32, right? Okay. Now let's talk about the Ultranet. Ultranet is developed by Behringer. One Cat5 cable can do 16 channels, so you can select from 16 channels. Ultra low latency under 1 millisecond. And you can daisy chain up to 7 devices in a row. You can have a total of 400 meters of Ultranet connection, with each of the connection having a maximum of 50 meters. So you can only use up to 7 devices in daisy chain. If you need more than 7 devices, you can get a P16D, which is what we have there. That is a repeater for the Ultranet. So 1 input and 8 output port. So from 1 input of Ultranet, it expands to 8 more outputs. One example is actually what we have here set up right now. This is very similar to what we have set up. So from the console, it could be an M32, could be an X32. Going to the subwoofer, going to the P16D, if you need more than 7 devices. And then from there, go straight to the speaker. You can daisy chain up to 7 devices. One on the left side, one on the right side. And then the other ports you can use for the monitors. We also have the P16M from Behringer, which we have right there. So with the P16M, you can have 16 inputs. You can give this to the musicians, and they can have their own mix for their monitor or their headphone outputs. So it's good application would be if they would, if you're doing a lot of mix, you're doing a lot of things in front of house, and you don't want to worry about the musicians, you can give them the P16M, the P16M, and they can mix themselves, they can EQ, they can arrange the level for their speakers or their in-ear monitors. Later on, you can check out what we have set up here at the back. These are all connected on Ultranet. What I did is basically from the X32, we have a straight Ultranet connection to the subwoofer and then daisy chain to the top using just a Cat5 cable. To get to the other side, I am using the stage rack, which also has an Ultranet output. So a Cat5 cable from the X32 to the stage rack, and then an Ultranet output from the back of the stage rack going to the subwoofer and to the top speaker. Right? So you can check that out, and then if you have any questions about that, you can ask me. So again, it's compatible with the P16M monitors and with our turbo sound speakers with the DSP from Craig Technique. And then you also have Ultranet connection source from your X32s, from your M32s, and also on your stage boxes. So just like our example here, we connected a Cat5. If this was a stage, you can connect an Ultranet from the stage rack to your speakers. So what kind of stage racks can we connect to the M32 and the DL32s? So there are two stage racks for the M series and the X32 series. So the first one is a DL16. The equivalent of that on the Behringer is in S16. So again, different preamps and different output cards. You really hear the difference on the preamp when you're doing a live band on the Midas console. You hear the difference, there's more headroom. You have your AES-50 connection here going to your console, and you have your Ultranet. You can also have MIDI inputs and outputs for controls. 16 inputs and then 8 outputs. The unique feature on the DL16 and S16 is that only with this stage rack, it's only with this stage rack that you can daisy chain an AES-50. On all the other stage racks, all of them are point to point. You cannot daisy chain. So if you have two devices, you can have a total of 32 channels inputs and 16 channels of outputs. So the second port, AES-50 port B, is dedicated to daisy chain to another stage rack. Okay? It's dedicated to another stage rack. So if you're connecting from your console, you cannot connect to the AES-50B on the S16 or DL16. It's not going to work. So you have to be mindful that you have to connect it on the first port, on the AES-50A, if you're connecting to the M32. The second kind of stage rack that we have is the DL32. This has a very special feature that not everybody knows. So it's basically 32 inputs and 16 outputs, very, very straightforward. You have two AES outputs at the back. If you're connecting to an amplifier like a lab group in, that would be a good redundant for your analog inputs. So you have AES inputs and then Dante inputs for the live group in. So again, you have an Ultranet connection going to your speaker or to an P16M. You have ADAT outs and then MIDI in and output. You have two AES-50 ports. The first one again is dedicated going to the mixing console. If from the mixing console you connect to the second port, this is not going to work. It's not going to detect it. That is because this one is dedicated for a splitter setup. There it's for a splitter setup, which we have on the DL32 and the S32. Okay? So the difference here is that this one is a slave and this one is a master clock. If you plug the master clock console to the AES-50B, it's not going to be able to detect it. So this has to be a slave. So with this kind of setup, you basically achieve a 2-3-1 setup, splitter setup, but then all the inputs here are going to both consoles automatically. You don't have to split it, you don't have to send it to the other console. Whatever you plug in on this port is going to come out of these consoles. And then, the outputs of this console, if this was the front of house, and this is going to be on the stage together with this console, the outputs will come out with the 16 outputs that we have on the DL32. Questions so far? So with the DL32, you have the same gain for both the front of house and the monitors, and maybe sometimes you don't want that to happen. Actually, I have a slide for that. It's just not here. Sorry. There you go. There you go. On the setup of the M32 and the X32, you can go to the preamp section and enable HA gain split. Once you press that, you won't be able to access the preamp. You will just be able to control the trim. So now if you're just doing the trim, the other console is not going to be affected. So going back here to our setup, the typical workflow that I would want to advise to our customers is that when you do a line check, you set up the gain levels for all your microphones. And then once you're done with the setting up of the preamp level, you go to the setup page and enable this one. So now both consoles won't have access to the preamps, only to the trim. So once you're on trim, the other console will not be affected. If you need to make any changes to the preamp, if the preamp, let's say, is clipping, you can always go to this section again and look for the preamp that you want to adjust, and you'll be able to control it from there, from that page. Here, we can demo that later with the two consoles that we have. Even though there's no DL32, I can show you how it's set up. If you don't have a DL32, we can also direct two consoles together, connect two consoles together directly using a Cat5 cable. Alright, so you can even connect multiple M32s. There's no limit to that actually. So this could be your front of house speaker, mixer, monitor mix. This could be a TV mix, and then you can have another console for recording or just a spare. And then all of them can be connected via Cat5 as long as there's only one master clock within the console network. All of them can share channels with each other. Here, questions so far? That is something that I want to just emphasize on compared to our competition in the mixer industry, because this flexibility in networking, in connecting to another console, in having a splitter stage rack like this one, and then have a USB multi-track recording all together is something that you cannot find on other products, on other consoles. Not unless you spend a lot of money. Even on the latest Allen & Hayes SQ5 and SQ6, they claim to have different functionalities and features, but you can't use all of those features at the same time. You either have to use an analog snake to use their 96 kilohertz, or you have to have a combination of their different stage tracks at 48 kilohertz, or you can't get the P16 monitoring system from them, or you cannot connect to another mixing console directly. So you have to choose between one of the features. You cannot use all of the features at the same time. So something very, very important for me in the Midas and the Behringer consoles. Alright, so to end the mixing console, let's just end the case study. So again, this is similar to what we have on the Pro Series, but then let's say the client has a more budget-sensitive project, and they can't spend all that money on equipments. How do we do the same setup with a dedicated monitor mix and multi-track recording and digital connection to your system? So again, we begin from the front of house. This is similar to what we see on the Pro X. M32 using a USB connection to your laptop to do multi-track recording and virtual sound check. From there, you connect AES50, going to the stage rack, on the DL32. And then from the DL32, you have a splitter set up going to the second M32. So they're sharing the same 3 amps. And then from the stage track, you connect via Cat5 Ultranet going to your turbo sound speakers with Clark Technique DSPs. Questions? Questions? None? Okay, so how about a 15-minute break? It's now 11:30. We can have 15-minute break or 10-minute break, and then after that, I'm just going to talk about some of the powered speakers and passive speakers that we have in turbo sound, and then we can have our lunch break. After the lunch break, we're going to continue with our installation commercial products. So if you have any questions on this one, you can talk to me on the side if you need more clarification. All right, so thank you. 5 minutes break. Thank you, guys.